Are you down with the... No, we are not using that intro. Ooh. Hi people, and hello my Chili Con Carnage crew, it's Chili here from 5 Minute Reviews, and on this episode we're going over Disturbed's newest album, Divisive. Don't forget that we do live streams every Friday, so make sure to check them out, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subbing to the channel. Depending who you ask, Disturbed are either the greatest thing you have ever heard and seen live, or the worst and most shitty subpar metal band ever, and so it seems fitting to have their latest album named Divisive, as if to point out their acknowledgement of the band's status in the musical scene. I have never been a huge fan of their music, but I don't fully subscribe to the latter, so I guess I'm somewhere in the middle. But this is their first album in 4 years, and the one they recorded during lockdown. So since Draymond has gone and removed his iconic piercings to give himself a new look, does his new look reflect upon the album? Well, let's find out. The record is just under 40 minutes long with 10 tracks on offer. 3 singles have been released as is standard before an album, so let's start with the first one, Hey You. I have to say, the song is playing it safe for Disturbed standards. It's a fairly generic rock sound that sounds oddly familiar, and with the repetition of the song's title every 2 lines, it wears out its welcome quickly. The next single is Unstoppable. Now this is a back to basics Disturbed song that kind of reminds me of their earlier works. I don't mind this song with its addictive drum patterns and heavy riffs just starting and stopping. The lyrics aren't anything fancy, but I prefer these to the previous single. The last single and first song I heard from the album is the album's title track, Divisive, and first impressions are some great vocal deliveries with more variety than what's been heard previously. As for the music, well, it's okay, mid-tempo rock adapting to the current styles of metal really. Now given David's vocal range and capabilities, I think it's a crime he doesn't flex his skills more often. Even adapt a style of maybe clean and unclean vocal duties similar to a lot of other bands. And so I feel either the band or his style is holding back the full potential of what we could possibly hear. When it comes to their music, well, I never really got into their sound. The only album I owned was Believe, which was a fairly decent album, but upon re-listening to it now, I see how the band took a lot of cues from other bands around this time, created a quasi-industrial, heavy, nu metal kind of album back then. I mean, you might say they are a watered down version of Fear Factory and Static X. Listening to them now, I see more modern influences have affected their sound with the current metalcore bands like North Lane and Bring Me the Horizon. With this said, do they have an original sound? Well, to a degree yes, but at the same time no. A lot of bands have changed their styles to keep up with times, but of all the examples I could mention, like say Metallica, Santana or Black Sabbath, they all had a distinctive sound that they forged with in the beginning. With Disturbed, not so much. Plus it doesn't help that all their music sounds very generic and repetitive. Listening to 5 songs feels like I've played their entire catalogue. I guess this just isn't my style. At least the song Don't Tell Me broke away from this, and it features Heart's own Ann Wilson, a sister to Nancy Wilson, and it was a breakaway from the monotony of this album. Overall, I would score this album 800,000 chilies on the spicy scale, with my favourite tracks being Unstoppable and Don't Tell Me. I don't think there is anything more I can add about this album that hasn't been covered already. It isn't here to win over new fans, but I'm sure old fans will enjoy this release. If you didn't like Disturbed before, I doubt this record will change your mind then. If you have enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing to the channel and drop us a like, and I hope you all have a great day and stay spicy out there. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Live Listen Erased, and if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it with all your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our Chili Con Carnage crew so you can get notified for all the future videos that we put out, as we put out videos every Friday. Also, we are on Discord, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter over at Live Listen Erased, so make sure to tune in over there. And don't forget to like this video so that our manager can stay very happy.